Hey everyone, last night Rick sent out a great and an important email to our church and a video to our church to help us really take a look at how we are responding individually to our current circumstances and just this cultural tension that we're finding ourselves in the midst of. And if you haven't seen already, I would encourage you go back, take a look at that, because I think it's something that's important for all of us. But I want to follow up that video today, and I want to ask you this question. What does love require of me? What does love require of me? I want you to hold on to that question because we're going to revisit it in just a minute. But as we're getting there, what I want to bring your attention to is that while we're in our current circumstances, while we're in the midst of what we're in, I want to bring us to Paul's writing. See, in Ephesians 2, Paul points to Jesus breaking down the walls of hostility between Jews and Gentiles, that all happened through Jesus. And see, the very same thing is true today, that Jesus can break down the cultural walls that exist between us. Why? Because we are all able to be God's children. We are all able to enter the kingdom of heaven because God loves each and every one of us the same. There's no person that's lesser than any other person. But what I want us to do is to fast forward to Ephesians 4. And here's what Paul says in Ephesians 4. He says, make every effort to keep yourselves united in the Spirit, binding yourselves together with peace. So he says that you need to work hard for the sake of unity. You need to do everything that you can to be unified with other people. He doesn't say, hope that unity happens. He doesn't say, it'd be really ideal if unity happens. He says, make every effort to be unified with other people. You need to actually take yourself and you need to put yourself into it, and you need to work hard for unity to happen. It's not going to happen by chance. So he encourages and challenges us to really work hard for that. But as I was thinking about that, I said, well, what does that look like? What does that even mean to work hard for the sake of unity? What is that asking us to do? And I think if you go to the next chapter, in chapter 5, Paul starts it out and he says, imitate God in everything you do. Because you are his dear children, live a life filled with love, following the example of Christ. And then this is what Christ said. He loved us and offered himself as a sacrifice for us, a pleasing aroma to God. So if we're going to work hard for unity, what does that actually look like? It looks like us becoming imitators of God, to actually look at a situation, to look at a circumstance, to look at what's happening right now and say, how would God want us to respond in this situation? How would God respond in this situation? And we want to respond in just the same way. And then Paul points out that the way that God would do that is through love, through living a life filled with love. So whatever is happening right now, whatever is going on right now, we need to take a pause and say, how can we add love back into it? Maybe where love is absent, maybe where love just isn't happening, how can we add love into what is happening? Now let me come back to that question I asked you originally. What does love require of me? What I want to do is I want to challenge you to be asking yourself that question as you go about your day this coming week, as you just move forward, that would you pause before you post anything on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you're getting ready to post it, would you just pause and ask yourself that question? What does love require of me? When I'm about to answer what I'm about to post, what does love require of me? Before you say something to any person, would you just pause for a second, take that extra half a second to just think in your head and say, what does love require of me? Before you make a decision that maybe isn't a great decision, but would you just pause and ask yourself the question, what does love require of me? It works in every aspect of your life, and it's something that we can be imitators of God, working hard for the sake of unity by just taking that extra little bit of time each time and asking that question, what does love require of me? I really hope that's something that you'll do. I really hope as we continue to navigate everything that's happening right now, and as we work towards that unity, would you make sure to just challenge yourself to bring love into the situation, to respond and to not react, and see how is it that you can best add love. Ask yourself that question. What does love require of me?